This flip was actually insane. Here's the book that I bought for $1 on Amazon, and I actually merchant fulfilled it for $149.99. What's up, everybody? I'm Joji Davenport. I'm a high school chemistry teacher and a six-figure Amazon FBA bookseller. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn how to sell books on Amazon through online book arbitrage, then hit the like button and follow the channel. So if you're interested in how this story unfolded, let's take a deep dive into Keepa, and I'll explain exactly why I bought this for $1 and also my thought process behind why I listed the book so high. I'm over here in Amazon Seller Central, and you can see that 8 hours ago today, I sold this practical pharmacology book for $149.99. Let's go and take a look at the listing. Notice that I also bought this book on Amazon because it says view this order as purchased on December 23rd, 2022. And clearly it sold very quickly because I merchant fulfilled it. I decided not to send it to Amazon FBA for a couple of reasons. The main reason why I decided not to send it into Amazon FBA is because right now it's textbook season. The beginning of January, if you don't know, that's when textbooks start flying off the shelf because that is basically the winter semester for college students. And I really wanted to get this listed as soon as possible, and I didn't think I would have enough time if I sent it in to an Amazon FBA warehouse, so I decided instead to merchant fulfill it. Now, the second reason why I decided to merchant fulfill it was simply due to the fact that there was only one other seller on the listing at the time, and this book, we'll take a look at Keepa here in a second, is a book that generally sells pretty well during January textbook season. But first, let's just talk about how I actually bought this book for $1. So what I'm going to do is zoom in on the Keepa chart here. Here's December 23rd, and you can see that on December 23rd, the price of this book went from $36.45 as the lowest used merchant fulfilled offer and went all the way down to 92 cents, and that's when I bought the book. And if you take a look at this book a little bit further back into history, you can see that it definitely has historical data to show that it sold for over 50 bucks pretty consistently. There have been times like before that $1 drop where the book sold for a little bit less, right around $15 to $20. But this was definitely a great pickup because my thought process was I could probably easily sell this for about $40 to $50 during textbook season. And if I actually zoom out a little bit further so that I could see all of January of 2022, you actually notice that there were quite a few cluster of sales during January. And what that indicates is that, again, this is a textbook season book, meaning it sells a little bit more frequently during the textbook season in January. Again, this is a book that doesn't have an amazing sales rank, but it definitely is a book that sells. And at $1, this was a crazy pickup. But the question is, how did I sell this book for $149.99 if I thought originally that I was only going to list it for 40 or 50 bucks? Well, one thing I want you to notice is that when I actually ended up picking up this book, there was about 4 or 5 copies that were available. But by the time I actually received the book, there actually was only one other offer available. So when I came on the listing, I thought to myself, hey, there's one copy left. I think they're going to sell it really quickly. Why don't I just shoot for the moon on this book? Because I only really paid $1. My risk in this is very, very low, but the reward could be potentially very high. And then what happened was on January 3rd, the person who had this listed at $30 actually sold out of their copies, which meant I was the only other person left on the listing. And so I just shot for the moon. If somebody needs this book, which I definitely think somebody does need this book because it's January and there's historical sales in January in the past textbook season, that I think that person can only really buy from me because I am the market. There's nobody else that's there. So my pricing strategy here was for maybe the first 7 days out of the textbook season, I was going to list it at the moon, $149.99. I honestly did not expect it to sell. And my strategy was if it didn't sell after the first 7 days, then on January 8th, let's go ahead and lower it down to about $119.99. And the reason why I wanted to do this incremental lowering of prices because if we actually do take a look at past historical data, especially back in the previous January, there actually was one sell at $146, which means this book has precedent for selling for that much money. There's also a sell here for about 90 bucks. And if I look at the September textbook season, I also see that there were a few sales over $125, actually more than just a couple. And so again, I didn't really think mine was going to sell for $149.99, but I decided to list it at that. My strategy was to go down to about $119.99 for the next 7 days. And if it didn't sell after that, then maybe come down to about $80. And if it didn't sell during the first January, then what I was going to do is send it into FBA at that point and then just try to list it for probably 50 or 60 bucks. But to my surprise, on my phone, I'll show you the screenshot right now, I was just here doing some normal Keepa analysis and popped up my phone as this merchant fulfill order. And I knew right away, no way, that sold for $149.99. Now, I'm guessing you're wondering how I actually came across this book. And I did that using a Chrome extension called Keepa, which has a number of really cool features that are really underutilized. And if you're interested in learning how to use the Keepa Deals page, then definitely subscribe to the channel. Join my live streams on Saturday at 6:30 a.m. PST every single week. And if you're interested in learning how to use Keepa's features like the track product feature, the deals tab, and the product finder tab, and also how to source books on eBay using a software called Flipmine, then definitely watch these other videos up here.